Why is this in my chair?
I did it when I took it because she gave me the dot earlier. Hey, Tanisha. As you come in the room, tell me you're here. Say hello. Say Happy New Year.
So you said you need my phone too, right?
How much on it?
44%.
You know. That charge well. All right, as you come in the room, say hello. So, we do Facebook Live every Monday night. Hey, Tanisha. Oh, I have my glasses, babe. Get my glasses out. Oh, it's right there on the counter. And so, today is the first day that we're doing Instagram Live as well. We have a large following with Facebook Live, but today is the first day for Instagram Live. So, just trying to see if there's something, because my nieces and stuff and my son told me that the old people be on Facebook Live. They tried it. Happy New Year, Danielle. Happy New Year, Calvin. Happy New Year, Jeremy. Happy New Year, Tanisha. Yeah, you already told me as you were taking pictures. And Keela, I was not late. I was on when you too busy texting me, so get your life. Right there in the counter, ain't there?
Right where?
Maybe not. Maybe they're in the bathroom.
You got invisible glasses?
I don't have invisible. So thank you for joining. Today is our first time doing simultaneous broadcast. One is Instagram Live and one is Facebook Live. Thank you very much for the hearts on Instagram. I don't really know how this particular one works, but I appreciate it. And so what we're doing today is trying to see how, yes, Keela, thank you very much. If you can, on the left-hand side of your screen, there's a little button that you push that will allow for people to know that we're on live. So if you would share it, I greatly appreciate it. So before we get started in our wonderful topic tonight, tonight is going to be interesting. Thank you so much for the hearts. I love it. I see Tanisha shared it. I see Keela shared it. Say hey, babe.
Hey.
He's so silly to my head. Jeez, babe, move your big arm. He's starting this already, y'all. So, these cameras look so different, don't they? All right, so, hey, Devin, how you doing? So, like I say, tonight is the first night we're doing simultaneous broadcast, Instagram Live and Facebook Live, just to see if there's somebody on Instagram that's not on our Facebook Live, whatever, because the kids told us that old people, they tried us. Thank you so much for all those who've shared. I see that Tanisha shared it. If you can, remember to share it, please. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, and I would like for your input, is I put up a post before on Facebook to say topics that you would like for us to cover and talk about. And that's how we got the topic tonight. And the topic tonight is why married women don't want to have sex. And so I'm sure we're going to get a lot of crazy comments and views and different ideas, and we welcome all of them. Mm-hmm. If you can, if you like what we're saying, if it's helpful, like I say again, on the left-hand side, share it to your page so people can join, as well as give us hearts and likes. I don't know how that works on Instagram as opposed to Facebook, but give us our hearts. We appreciate that. This is let us know you're enjoying what we're saying and what we're doing is impacting your life and your marriage. We're not doing this for us. We believe this is what God has given us, and we enjoy it. I thank you for everybody that gave me your thoughts and prayers last week as my husband did the broadcast by himself when I had surgery and I was kind of a little drugged up and I had filled it down just a little bit since he talked about me on the broadcast. So, Happy New Year, Wanda. And I'm talking, and I know Instagram, you may not see it, but on Facebook Live, people are saying hello. As you come in the room, say hello. And on the left-hand side, if you can share it to your page, your page.
What is this one right here?
This is Instagram Live.
Can they comment on that too?
They can comment on that as well. They have not yet. I had a couple likes, but they have not commented. Somebody from Instagram Live said, hey, or something. I see
Vic join.
Who? Oh, hey, Vic. Said, are you named Black Love United on Instagram? Yes, we have Black Love United, and we have Ced Angie. But because the majority of our on Facebook Live, on Facebook we have 27,000 followers.
Happy New Year, Miss D-Lo.
Hey, D-Lo. And on Instagram we have like 1,500. So I was trying to capture both audiences if I could, because some people prefer one or the other. So I was just trying to give it an opportunity to touch on both. So
Instagram and Facebook at the same time.
You can't start that mess. Hey, Tim. Happy New Year. So I am so glad that all you people have made it to the new year. If you're saying hello and you're on here, you made it. If we on here with your ghost, we about to hang up the phone right now and run somewhere else.
Shut it down.
Right, you see them kids talking about at the same time. Help them, Lord. Peach is back in the house.
Peaches.
So we are in day 2 of 2017.
Hey, Joy.
And so first I want to say a big thank you to my husband. He has been a wonderful caregiver. He can be a little short patience usually, but this time he has been very, very, very attentive. He's remodeled the bathroom upstairs, downstairs. He has just been Johnny on the spot. And I mean, like, for real, for real. If I need something in the middle of the night, he like, you need some water, you need to ice your knee. So we are doing well, Joy. It says, how long has Instagram been doing this live? This is cool. They've been doing it now. It seems like a month. Only reason I know is because my kids were upstairs going live because we want to be like Black Love, so we're going to go live. Peaches said, hey, Ced. Baby, they're speaking to you because you weren't here when they all first came in. So, right. And so we definitely enjoy, you try to give a benefit, give both sides to do.
Kevin, what's up?
To reach anybody we can, because everybody, I've had people contact me and say, hey, I don't have Facebook, so how can I see you? Because they saw it on somebody else's page. Thank you so much for the hearts.
What's
again,
up, Team Black.
On the left hand side it says share. If you could share it to your page, because we're getting ready to get into our topic. We have built quite a following on Facebook Live. I really wish I knew how to give you instructions on Instagram Live. I haven't even watched anybody on Instagram Live. Hey, Happy New Year. So I have to thank you for the hearts on Instagram Live. So
Instagram. I don't know
so
what it is,
me either, but hey William. So what we're talking about tonight, like I said, I'm going to put a post up and I'll put it on Facebook and Instagram. What topics would you like for us to cover?
LaQuenda say what's up.
Hey, LaQuenda. And what we may have to do, we have Ced and Angie and we have Black Love, and we have different followers for both pages. So we may have to pick another night to do our Facebook for Ced and Angie to reach those who we don't know. Because somebody told me the other night they hadn't heard from us, but that's because they're only on Ced and Angie. So we'll figure that out. But we are excited about the 2017 year, right, babe?
Yes. Excited.
So the topic tonight is why married women don't want to have sex.
The sex.
Not the sex.
They don't want to have the sex.
Well, why do you think married women don't want to have sex?
Just selfish.
Be serious, your crazy self.
No, there's a lot of reasons that could be.
That married women don't want to have sex.
Right. Could be emotional hurt.
Get one and go on it. Tell me back.
I don't know how to tell you about why you women do what y'all do. Y'all crazy.
Baby, that is not helpful. The men already think they wives crazy.
Jeremy somebody, yep, selfish.
You know what? Don't start co-signing on this food. Happy New Year, Cheryl. Oh, hey, Hope. I met her at Five Guys. That's who you are. How you doing, girl? She saw my hair. I re-dyed my hair, Hope. Okay, so the side note. Look, child, I re-dyed my hair on April.
Oh.
Her name April, not Hope. It's April. Look, okay. Don't judge me. See, I re-dyed it, girl, since we talked. Anyway, actually, my friend put the color in for me because I was ill-afflicted. Anyway, so you said married women don't want to have sex. What's your reason?
I said they want to have sex.
What's one of the reasons that married women would not like
Well,
to have
it
sex?
could be the lack of emotional connection.
Lack of emotional connection.
Yes.
Y'all need to start where I have strong connection. He's so stupid.
Right. What's up, Calvin?
Devin said they might be sleeping with someone else. But if you're sleeping with someone else, how did you get there?
Right.
So, so I'm going to have to read the comments out loud so both Facebook and Instagram Live will know what was said. So the comment was they may be having sex with someone else. But if they're having sex with someone else, there's another problem that led them there.
Right. The sex with someone else is a symptom, it's not the problem.
Right. They're probably getting it from somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the thing. It's actually a lot of people that's not having sex with their spouse, but they're not having sex with anybody else either.
Right. Well, if you don't have an emotional connection, it's hard to feel attracted sexually to that person. Because like you said, a lot of times we just get to going through the motions and get busy with the logistics of a marriage, especially if there's kids involved and things of that nature.
Okay, so it says they're probably getting it from somewhere else. Lack of communication and attention, pain or hurt in their marriage, tired from working, they are not attracted to their mate, true, which means love does not live there anymore. All right, so it's about 4 kids. Okay,
says 4 kids.
So let's go back. I'm reading them out loud because I told you we're on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So the first one was, we said about having doing it with somebody else.
Right.
So that alone is a symptom of a bigger problem.
Right.
Somebody else said lack of communication and something else.
I don't remember. They come in hot and heavy.
Well, I like this. Lack of communication and attention. Right. Okay, so women are emotional beings. You know, you get somebody that pay attention to us as a woman, they are just the world for us. Right. So, like, you're like, why you treat me so bad? Now, they ain't got to be doing anything bad to you, but they're just not showing you attention. That's why women tend to feel used and neglected and feel that they're not important, feel like they just your kid's mother, or feel like they're just going through the motions because they don't feel the connection. Because and he talked about logistics.
Right.
Tell him what logistics is.
Logistics means picking up the kids, getting groceries.
You make me stand, Wobble.
That's how I get my point across. Picking up the kids, picking up groceries, taking the kids to practice, going to church, going to choir rehearsal. You get busy doing these things and you don't feed or help your marriage. And I know Pastor Gurley, his father said something important, that marriage is like a baby. You don't have to beat the baby up. All you have to do is just do nothing. And the marriage is the same way. If you do nothing to help your marriage or strengthen your marriage, it's going to dissolve, it's going to die. Either you're feeding it and helping it grow, or you're killing it by doing nothing. You don't have to beat your wife. You don't have to cheat on her. Just do nothing. And the marriage will dissolve and it will die.
And oftentimes people think that.
Right. And they think that you have to be doing something terrible, and all you have to do is nothing.
It's like I go to work every day.
Right. And that's not enough. And I know I see people saying that their spouse is not interested and things of that nature. But how did you get to that point? Because you're not going to marry somebody that you're not interested in.
Right.
You're not going to marry somebody that you don't at least like a little bit.
Right.
I'm not going to marry somebody. I can't stand you. Let's get married.
At some point in time, you were in love.
Exactly.
So how did you get there?
Well, even if you weren't in love, at least you liked them.
But listen, how did you get there? You dated. You spent time with them.
Right.
And then logistics is when you get married. Like, most of you can tell me your daily schedule. Thank you so much for the hearts. We like to know that you like what we're saying. Right. So logistics is, if we ask you what your day is going to be on a Monday, on a Tuesday, right, you know if you got to pick. Thank you so much. Even Instagram Live, I like that. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, you can tell me I got to pick the kids up. Somebody got soccer practice. Somebody got basketball practice. Somebody got this. I got church. But when is your time for your spouse?
Right.
When is your date night? When is your family night? There has to be a balance.
And if you're having a date night, are you locked into your spouse? Or are you on your phone looking at Facebook, Instagram? Are you checking emails from work? Are you, watching TV on your phone? I mean, it's so much that we can do with technology. And to be honest with you, it's really everything that social media, all that stuff, is a distraction. That's what it's designed to be.
Yep.
A distraction. That's why when you get notifications on your phone, ooh, somebody tagged you, somebody said this, somebody did that, somebody changed their profile. They want you to go in and take a look because they know if they can get you in there to take a look.
You've been there for hours and had no idea.
And you can't get out of there.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is we often don't realize how you know what your priorities are by what you spend your money on and your time on. And majority of us spend most of our time on our phones. Now, this is the thing. If you get up in the morning and you check your phone, Facebook, a game, Instagram, Twitter, before you say good morning to your spouse, you are addicted to your phone.
Run it up.
Okay, so let's go. Where we at? Okay, pain and hurt in their marriage. So we're going to go there. We still going. Okay, so pain and hurt in your marriage. If your spouse has hurt you, a lot of times, especially if it's been multiple times, right, that stuff starts to get deeper and deeper because what we tend to do is not address our hurt. We put paper on it.
Well, that's the problem. When you have pain and hurt in a relationship and it's not dealt with, there's no sincere apology. There's no plan of how you're going to get past it and reconcile. You just ignore it as if it never happened. That's just like if you got a dog and a dog take a dump in the middle of the living room and you just put newspaper over it. You don't see it, but it's still going to stink. And
it's still there. Right. And as soon as, you can just keep compiling that newspaper dog crap. But then one day, when all that newspaper is ripped up and you have a whole bunch of dog crap, you try to figure out how do I get my house not look, but eventually the whole house will start stinking.
Right.
Because you got this,
and flies,
and that's what happens in your marriage because you do not address it. Right. So when things happen, we tend to want to because it's uncomfortable. Right. It's tension in the house and nobody's talking. But what you have to do is it's not easy to talk about, babe, I hurt you. Right. And I was feeling this kind of way. I was feeling that, or I did this. I was just stupid, or I don't have a reason. I just was selfish.
Well, not only that, I apologize, but what do you need from me for us to move forward and for you to begin to heal? Because if you don't heal, you can't have a connection sexually with that person because there's resentment there. Because you hurt me, I don't feel like you're sorry for it. We never addressed it, so there's no.
Well, even if you say sorry,
right?
You usually can tell when your spouse is really apologetic for what they did. But sometimes we say sorry because that's what we would learn to say. Sorry. But that's when we tell our children when they do something to each other, they can't just say sorry or I'm sorry. They gotta say I'm sorry for hitting you. I should have kept my hands to myself. Or I'm sorry for whatever.
And I don't intend on doing it again.
Right. We have to. When you say you're sorry to your spouse, you need to tell them why you're sorry. Because sometimes, we had this before when we were early on in our marriage, right. He said he was sorry, but then when the same situation happened again, I was like, well, you already told me you sorry for that. He said, I'm just sorry that, I hurt your feelings. But he wasn't sorry for the incident because he didn't know my point of view of what I felt was the hurt and what he thought was a problem. So when we address it, it wasn't necessarily what he said. It was maybe the fact that we hadn't spent any time together. I didn't feel loved. And then you did this.
It was a twofold problem because you didn't clearly communicate
right.
what the situation was.
Right.
So my thing was, well, I don't want to argue, and I'm tired of arguing, so I'm sorry. And it wasn't clearly understood.
Listen, men do that more times than not. And this is mainly the man. It was a man that asked this question: why do married women not want to have sex? And we're trying to help you because men, you don't want to fuss. Women are natural fussers. We naturally will get it in whenever, whatever. We gonna roll our neck and be mad, hold grudges, whatever. However, men, you got to talk about what happened because even though it gets over quicker by you just saying I'm sorry and move on, it comes back. What you don't address will come back and address you. Right. You better believe that.
And you're going to keep dealing with it until you deal with it.
Until you really deal with
right.
it. Not I'm sorry, not whatever. It got to be listen.
Why is this happening? How can we stop this from happening? And what do we need for both of us to move forward? Because sometimes there are things that have to be done.
Right.
Like do X, Y, Z, and then we can begin to move forward from that situation. And when you do X, Y, Z, then your spouse, they really care for me because they're putting forth effort to do X, Y, Z that I asked them to do to get me in a place where I can heal and begin to fall in love again. Because if I'm hurt I have resentment. There's no way, especially a woman is not going to want to have sex with you if she's hurt and feels resentment towards you.
Okay, real quick. On the left-hand side of your screen on Facebook Live, we got both of them, Instagram and Facebook. Hit share, get your friends to come on. Anybody else you think would benefit from this, anybody you know that's married, just share it to your page real quick. But what I was going to say, you were saying that women are not going to have sex. Like, men can have sex without emotional connection. They can stick, they want to bust a nut.
That's right.
Okay. That is, they want to bust a nut. So, but I wanted to go back because I saw we done missed a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay,
well,
so
see, the next one said tired from working.
Right, and then somebody else said 4 kids. Okay, so men want to bust a nut. They can do that without effort. That's why they say you can be asleep. You ain't got to do nothing. You can just lay there. Well, first of all, that's not actually true. What we've learned is that men have feelings. They just don't express them like we do. Right. They don't want to say, "Babe, I don't feel like you want me." If a man gains weight, if a man lost his job, they still want to feel like you want them, that you're attracted to them, that they are still powerful, that you still see them as the head of the house, that you still see them as strong. Because men are ego driven. Right. So they gotta feel like they are important to you. They gotta feel like they're the head of household. Right. And women, we can build them up or tear them down with our words, with our looks, with our action. Just like if you used to ask them, if they lost their job and you used to ask them, babe, we need to buy a new spread. Can we buy this? And now you're just going to buy it. Like, I'm the one making the money, so I ain't got to ask him anything. But then now he knows that you don't see him as the head of household because he's lost his job. But then that goes to another topic. Are you really down for him? Right. So go back to...
And that's super, super disrespectful. Number one, I'd like to thank people for the shares.
Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
Instagram, is that right?
Instagram Live, but they're not. I don't know if they can share it on Instagram Live. Thank you so much for the hearts.
Instagram people, you know how to do it. Go and share that thing now.
So we on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. We're on Black Love United is our name for both of them. So we appreciate it. We just want to help many married couples as we can. And if you're not married, you need to know what to do when you get married. Exactly. You've been in relationships before. You've had hurt before. So
nothing wrong with being ready. When the time arises and it comes, you know how to handle it.
Proactive instead of reactive is always what you need. Whether you're married, single, you need to learn how to be a married person. You need to study. If that's what you plan on being, just like if you want to be a doctor, you can't just go be a doctor. You got to study to be a doctor. So if you want to be a wife, study to be a wife. You want to be a husband, study to be a husband.
Well, that's what Les Brown says. For those of you, Les Brown is a motivational speaker, very popular. And what he says was, whatever you want to be, hang with people that's already that.
Thank you. I'm glad it's helpful to you. She said she's been married for 2 years and it's helpful.
Right. If you want to be rich, then hang with people that have money. You can't hang with broke people and want to be rich. It don't work like that.
Right.
You can't hang with single people and want to be married. That's just not the way it goes.
Like you heard me say about my best friend and my cousin. Both of them are Susie homemakers. They are Betty Crockers. Now, they got strengths, and I have strengths. They're different. But you need somebody that's going to be a strength or a role model for you in your weaker areas. Like, I can have a vision. I don't know how to put it together, like when it comes to decorating the house or going to make some stuff from scratch. I can cook, but I can't go in there and make something from scratch. But then I have people that do that, if I have a question, I ask them. You got to have somebody that is better than you in the areas you're weak in. Because if both of y'all ragged it in, you ain't going to do nothing. You're going to feel like, well, I'm a child. That's what my friends do. Right. I've heard people say, all my friends like that. Well, then you need to get a new set of friends. So going back, I saw somebody else said,
Zamika, thank you.
Your honey and I watching. Been married 13 years. If you're married, put how long you've been married in the comment section. I would love to see that.
And
so
we didn't forget to have them rep where they're from too.
Yeah, anytime in this you can say how long you've been married. So this is the other thing. What someone said was, we were talking about the reasons that married women don't have sex. This somebody said they've been married. They said 4 kids. That's not an excuse.
Every Monday at 8, Earl, we do this.
Every Monday at 8. Like our page. Subscribe to the Black Love events because I put an event on there.
Years.
Good, Toya, 17 years. Yeah. Oh, Toya, Susan Homemaker too. Jesus have mercy, child.
Every Monday at 8 p.m.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Go to the event section when this is over. First of all, like the page. Share the page if you like it. We do it every Monday. We have a topic. And I'm telling you, this year is going to be powerful. But let's go back. So, we've learned that married women are not sexually driven when they're not emotionally connected. That's the first thing. So men have to learn how to tap into their wives' emotions. Find out how her day was. Because sometimes we're so busy doing for the kids and the husband. If you in church, you doing all these things and you feel like you're being neglected. So sometimes husband like, babe, what's going on? Or he might come up, I might be cooking. He come behind me and kissing me and be like, babe, let me help you do this. Let me help you do that. It's not that he wants to, but sometimes he can see when I'm overwhelmed. Right. But that's because we have an intimate relationship. Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is knowing your spouse. But you need to have an intimate relationship with your family, your children, because of how you get to know people. Right. Social media has made it so difficult that everybody, if there's a problem, 7 p.m. Central Time, okay. Yeah. So everybody has an issue with, if you find out somebody mama died, do you just put it on their Facebook wall or do you call them? Because people have gotten so desensitized to picking up the phone. I want to hear your voice. I'm that person I want to say, hey, how you doing? Because I can tell, like he can send me a text and say, he all right. Hey, how you doing? But hearing their voice, I can hear. And like my dad always say, spirit touches spirit. So you can be on the phone like, they don't sound right. It's times when, he'll tell me everything is good, but then I'm like, something ain't right with him. But that's because I spent time to know him. That's outside of a phone. That's outside of Facebook. And I'm telling you, I cut all my notifications off on every social media. And I get paid to do social media accounts for different people. But what I've done is learn to prioritize. Whatever time I'm allotting to social media is that time. So, what happens is we forget so often out there. My husband's out there. Still out there. What does that mean? Okay. So we forget to spend our time with our family, be connected, be present. And so I saw somebody said, we were asking for reasons why married women don't want to have sex. And what was said was 4 children. That is not an excuse. No. That is not valid. I have 5 children and my husband does not get the answer no from me. Ever. Ever. He's not going to do anything. And see, this is about when you know your husband is listening to God, when he's in tune with God, when he is connected to God. Because my husband, like people say, you don't never tell your husband no. Women want to fight me on that all the time. But I'm telling you, if you open your legs more, you wouldn't be so worried about whether he's out there screwing somebody else. That's what I'm going to tell you. I know people don't like to talk like that, but you want to be mad. You mad at him. You ain't talking to him. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. But then this man going out there, you done beat him down with your words. You done beat him down. You done undermine him to the kids and in front of everybody else. And he go out the door and there's somebody at work saying, man, you are a good man, because they see him working hard. Man, and they don't even know at the time that things are raggedy. But then there this other woman is building his confidence up, what you supposed to be doing. And you telling him no. So you making him mad, you belittling him, and you ain't giving him none. Right. So he going out there full, and somebody else is building him up. Even the best man can fall under those circumstances. But now, if he gonna cheat because that's just who he is, that's only something that God can cure. But women, we got a part to play. And we do too much of finding excuses. People tell me 4 kids, I have 5. I've never told my husband no. But what I was going to say is, he's not going to see me sick and on my deathbed and say, I don't care, you got to give me some. He's concerned about me. He's looking out for my well-being, so he's not going to be selfish. But then at the same time, if he knows that's what he needs, I'm going to make sure he get what he needs. Right. Even if we ain't talking, you need to get that from the back so we can go on. You can, because I told you, men can compartmentalize. Right. Men can have sex, bust a nut, and they good. But when you leave them like that, they ain't got none, and then they go out to the work field, and women out there doing whatever, because somebody see your marriage, somebody want what you got, somebody want to know why he with you. Mm-hmm. Why is he with her? Oh, she ain't all that. Or let me see if I can get him to leave her. And there's some women that want to see if they can break up your happy home. They don't want him. And they will leave him because they will realize later on that it was you that pushed him to be where he is right now. Because it's a good woman that will help her man be birthed into whatever God has him to do. Right. So it's not about, because I mean, it's a lot of times, like my mom and dad been married for 56 years or whatever. And she pick out his clothes on Sunday. She, buy his underwear, buy his t-shirt. Okay, but you didn't realize that because all you see is what he come out the house with. So you have no idea the work it took for him to be who he is. For the nights that she sit up praying for him. I done paced these floors a many a night praying for my husband. But you don't know that part. The times that things didn't go right. Or if he had been in jail, or if he had been unemployed, or if he couldn't have a driver's license. But we realized that we were a unified front when we walk out this door, because God is our source, God is our strength, and God gonna help us through this.
Right.
You don't realize that part. See, a powerful, virtuous woman can push her man into his destiny. And I'm not saying push him, I'm saying undergird him.
Right.
Go ahead, babe. I've been talking for a minute. Sorry.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is very true. It's actually scriptural. It's your job to make your spouse the person they're supposed to be, and to find their purpose, in life, and what God will have them to do.
13 years, good.
That's your job. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job.
Right. And I mean, and this is not an attack on women, and it's not an attack on men. But I need us all to understand that men feel like when I get married that I can have sex I want. But then if you talk to any other married man, they be like, man, you get married, you don't have sex at all. That's crazy to me that that's our normal. That when you get married, you don't have sex.
Right.
Why? That's something that God created for you guys to come together, to make love, it's a time of coming together. It's times that you can have a rough day. You can get with your baby and say, oh my God, they just make me feel better. I had times that I forgot what I was mad about when we got finished, because nothing else matters to me at that point. My husband loves me. My husband is here with me. So what I'm mad for? What's the issue now?
Well, I think it says Clomis. I'm sorry.
Oh, Keanis.
Keanis, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay, Keanis asks, is marriage about sex? It's not all about sex, but
it's a vital part of it.
Well, that's what you're ready to say. It's very important. And even in the Bible, it talks about not neglecting coming together as a couple, because when you do that, you leave room for the devil to get in and to sow seeds of discord. Right,
because have you ever been, and you hear people say sexually frustrated, where like, okay, I never knew there was such thing until we started doing marriage ministry and seeing couples that sexless marriages. I thought that was the perk to getting married. I thought that was the know all be all. Right. That when you get married, you can have sex. You ain't got to feel bad for having sex, because you can have it. You can do whatever you need to do because the bed is undefiled. That's your thing. But there's so many sexless marriages. I can't even believe that that's a thing.
Right. Appreciate that, cuz.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, sex is very important, and it's not just for the actual sex itself, but when you have sex with your spouse, you strengthen that connection that you have between the two of you, and it's not just a physical thing; it's emotional, it's spiritual, and that nourishes your marriage. It encourages you guys to stay together and to grow together.
But I'm saying, we sometimes fuss about little simple stuff. When people get divorced sometimes, they like, oh, 'cause I was sick of him left his drawers in the middle of the floor. I was sick of him squeezing the toothpaste. Well, I'm going to tell you, long before the underwear and the toothpaste came on, it was more about something else that was going on. It was unaddressed issues like we talked about earlier that we kept putting newspaper over, and it was still stinking underneath there, and we never dealt with it. What did it say? What did it say? Okay, what? What about it conditional?
I don't know about unconditional. I'm not sure. You gotta read.
Be honest. You gotta write that again.
I don't want to.
So okay. So the one thing we said was is emotional.
Emotional.
That's probably the biggest one, and that's the most common one, because men have emotions too, and they have feelings too, but they don't express them like we do. Women, we'll talk to them, we'll repeat ourselves 50,000 times about the same thing because they're not getting it. But it's not that that they don't hear what you're saying. They don't understand because they don't think like we do. So you have to find a way to say, when you do this, it makes me feel like this.
Right. And that's the whole key of communication, is to get the other person to understand what you're saying. So if you're saying the same thing over and over again, try saying it a different way.
But don't be accusatory. You're like, you always this. Anytime you come at somebody talking about you always, you gonna shut them down, male or female.
The topic is why married women don't want to have sex.
I put a post up and I asked people to give me these topics they want to do, and this is one of the questions that was asked. And I'm going to put a post up again. Again, if you just joined on the left hand side, share it to your page, get people to join, come in and see. I don't know for Instagram Live how that works. What I want you to do though is, if you have another topic, to also put it on the when I'm going to post another thing up tonight, because we want to address the things that are important to marriage. We want you guys to, your marriages to thrive, right. Not just exist, but to be fun. I mean, we have fun together. Right. I mean, I'm not like, if something happened good to me, I want to call him and my friend. I don't want to be like, well, I'm going to call him and he hear about it later. What happened?
Rhonda say it's a hormonal release which keeps us women from acting crazy and crabby.
And that's true.
You got to have that medicine.
My husband always say, she need her medicine. Because like, it's been times where we were so busy doing stuff that, you know, we wanted to do something, but we were exhausted because the days were long. We might be having, you know, Black Love events. We might have stuff with the kids. We got this, we got church. And we get home. On the way home, we talking cash junk, and both of us fall out on the couch or something like that. So it just didn't happen. And you end up being cranky and snappy, and everybody acting silly. Let's go back.
Kaima? I'm sorry.
Kiana's, baby. I just told you.
No,
Kiana.
no,
Hold on. Okay, she went back. She said it was a story on Steve Harvey.
When the lady couldn't no more, couldn't what?
Okay, you gotta make sure you take time and write it out, because I can't finish. I say the problem is, what's that?
In my opinion, people marrying people they're not attracted to. Do you agree?
No.
Well, in some instances, but very often.
But I mean, what reason would they marry somebody unless it's like an arrangement for money?
Money or something like that. Yeah.
But we're not talking about somebody marrying somebody. If you marry somebody for money, you know you're marrying for money, so that's gonna be what it is.
Right now, the CHYMMNA.
It's probably China or something.
China. Maybe. Yeah, it's not always the woman; it's the man too. My drive is, what did I say? Higher than my husband's, and that happens. But there's also sometimes you have to look at what situations surrounding that. Like, are you supporting your husband like you're supposed to? Are you building him up? Are you giving him confidence? Because just like for a woman, a man don't want to have sex with a woman that's belittling him, not supporting him,
slick mouth,
right? Not respecting him. He feels disrespected.
Yeah, Well, I mean, we had it in the early on, because that was the biggest thing for us. He was saying I wasn't respectful to him, and so he didn't want to be intimate with me either. We would be sitting in the house like this when we were first getting married. The first 5 years, I mean, it was crazy because, I mean, I'm thinking like, what man don't want to have sex? Da, 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 da. But my mouth was too slick. I couldn't shut up, and I had something to say for everything he said. When you learn that he's the head of household, and women don't like the head of household thing. Or, well, I make my own money. Listen, if you are going anyway by biblical definition, you understand it don't talk about when the man make more money or the woman make more money. That's not how it is. The chain of command in God's eyes is the same. That's why you need to make sure that God is sending you your spouse, that God is the one that tells you this is who you're supposed to marry, right. And not marry them because they fine, because they be fine when they're in, but then later on, stuff shift, and then they ain't fine no more. Then what?
Right.
Okay, so let's see. But is it different? What's that?
It is a difference to talking to a person than talking at a person.
It's definitely different. And that's a problem that women have often. They talk at people. Because, you know, women, we ain't crazy. We can't talk so slick to our husbands because depending on who you got, you might get choked out. You wouldn't hope a godly man wouldn't do it, But you want... I gotta finish this person first, baby.
No, I was just saying, go.
I'm gonna go to the next person, but I want to finish because we missed some before because of that. So we're gonna get to... We're trying to get to the comments, but we're trying to deal... So talking at a person. So we'll say stuff sarcastic and condescending. So we didn't necessarily say anything... Like, we didn't call them a name, but we know... They know how we feel about them.
I'm saying they didn't ask a question. They were commenting.
But everybody can't see. We got two things going on, babe.
Okay, it was a story on TD Jakes when the wife got into an accident and sex was gone, and it was something. I don't remember what the rest of that said.
Okay, so
that's a different situation.
Okay, so if this, we're not talking about if you get into a relationship and something happens. If something happens to my husband and he can't function sexually, I love him, so it doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, I've seen people leave people when they've been sick. I've seen people that
You gotta
get
worry about that.
that.
Pump something.
Shut up. I've seen people leave people when they are sick, but I also saw when people have gained weight, people don't love them anymore. That means it was superficial because gaining weight is a gaining weight, losing weight. People go through all kind of things. It's times when there's really a love connection. It's been times I fell out of love with Cedric, and he fell out of love with me. But when I went to God and said, Lord, this I can't live like this. He jacked me up because it was me. I needed some work. And then I fell back in love with my husband. That getting married, getting divorced because you ain't in love, baby. That ain't how it works. How many times do we do stuff on God and he still love us? He still take care of us. He still provide for us when you're behind. No, you should be kicked to the curb. Because last time he was in this situation, you prayed and prayed. And Lord, if you get me out of this mess, I won't do it again. And you do it again. So if God can give us that many graces, then what? What is our responsibility? What does it say now? Money means nothing. Can you sleep with money? Right. Thank you, Tracy. What does that say, Cedric Angie?
What happens when your spouse begins being emotional? I mean, very emotional, like they begin to act like you. I mean, womanly, not like he's gay, but like
well, see now
tit for tat.
But see now that's a fighting technism. I said technism. I was saying mechanism. Okay.
A coping mechanism, fighting technique.
Okay, so they say we did a thing. Say what kind of fighter are you? Some people are tit for tat. Some people are name callers.
Some people just shut down.
Some people get petty.
All right. Some people are screamers.
Yes. And
some people throw things.
Oh God, I hope not. What's that? Couples usually say that
are too tired or jobs not on the same schedule. Medication. You kept going up.
Yeah, because we got so much going on.
Very supportive. I cook daily.
But see, now this is the thing. I said China. I think in there.
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying you're supportive, but every time we have a couple in here, and the wife would say, "Oh, I'm very this," and the husband would say, "Actually, you're not." And that's the same thing. I told my husband, I was like, "I'm very respectful." He said, "No, you're not." And we had to understand that my idea of respect was not his idea of respect. So until you talk to your husband and do a progress report and find out if you're actually respectful, if you're actually doing the right thing, then you'll know whether you're on the right page.
Well, you missed the bottom of that. It says that he watches porn but not want me, so I'm trying to see what I'm doing wrong. So that's another issue.
That's something that God has to fix, baby. Because that spirit of porn is, that's it can mess up your life. That's why you see people talking about porn addictions, because then they want you to be that person. They want you to role play. That's not realistic. And so that's why it's important that, and some people turn to porn when they feel like they're not getting what they need from their spouse, but they are looking for something that only God can fix a lot of times. And not to sound like I'm preaching a sermon, but they're looking for things that God can fix, that has to fix. Because those emotional things.
Well, you have like a void in your life, and
right.
You're looking for something to fill it.
Right. All right.
Well, Tanisha says that she is movie fan. I'm defensive on this. What are you defensive on? Tanisha Campbell.
Why would you be defensive? I'm talking about whether women why women don't have sex. I don't understand that one, Tanisha. My husband and I only been married for 7 months. Is it normal for us not to have sex all the time because we got married? He couldn't keep his hands off me. Yes. There's a problem if you only been married for 7 months and the sex is already gone awry. But you guys have to start having some. We talk about intimacy and learning your spouse. You have to have some. We have a lot of conversations just laying in the bed, and a lot of times they be crazy times of night, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it just be random stuff. But that's when you learn the most about people. When your defenses are down. When you're just like I want to know what things make him tick. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And when they feel like you have their back, you are more attractive to them. You are, beautiful to them. And it's not about how you look, it's how you treat them.
Right.
What is the age difference?
Of what?
Carmela, you talking about the age difference of us or who? People are very shallow these days. That's correct.
After being in a long period of time, women start complaining and nagging, make you not feel like being bothered with them.
Right, John, and that's what we just said. Like, it's about how you treat the woman treats her man. If you have a woman that nags and fuss all the time, you're gonna get that where he doesn't want to be bothered with you. That's why you have so many men that hang out at Ale House and Waffle House and this house and that house, because
They don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home. I want you to be asleep when I get home because I don't like you. They can love you and not like you.
Yeah, I used to sit in the driveway for a while before I went in the house. I had to get my mind right.
You know what? Amen. Difference. Okay, that's what we at.
No, let's see. Keep going up.
All right.
Pray and see.
What did it say?
Yeah, that's it.
Where? Guys, I'm trying to keep up all these questions. I'm going to have to skip down some of these things.
Yeah.
Some couples unions watch porn together. But porn is not good for your relationship, and it's not good for your marriage. Why do you need porn? Your spouse can't turn you on. Your spouse can't fulfill you. What is porn doing for you? Honestly, what is porn doing for you? Because then when somebody gets addicted, that's like people, hey, I got an open marriage, we okay. But then when somebody gets somebody else and they done left you, then you out here looking stupid. You open the door to all kind of, spirits and things that come in. If he need a nurse, I'm going to dress him and be that nurse. If you need a stripper, I'm going to dress him and be that stripper. I'm going to make it clap and do whatever you need to do. I will be all his fantasies. That's why knowing what it is that your spouse need. But we so busy that, we just want to lay there and get it done. I'm going to enjoy the moment, but whatever he needs, I'm going to fulfill his needs. He ain't got to go look at no porn. I'll be his porn. What in that porn doing I can't do?
Whitney says, I think that some women have been programmed to think that sex is bad, and it's difficult to adjust that mindset when you get married. It's true. And that's the problem that I have. A lot of churches don't talk about sex with your spouse. All you hear growing up is, don't have sex. Well, of course they mean outside of marriage. Right. But then when you get married, it's like you're still in that taboo because church don't talk about it. It's kind of like, oh, well, follow the white snake to the mountains of darkness. What? The devil? I don't know what that means. It's not just married couples. Huh? This is how I feel. What if you just don't have the drive? How can you please your spouse if you are not interested? Okay, so it says, what if you don't have the drive? How can you please your spouse if you're not interested? There is a reason why you're not interested. Right. Again, that not being interested is a symptom, what Cedric talked about earlier. Right. That means that you're not locked in emotionally with your spouse. You're not connected. You don't have that intimate connection if you're not interested with them. Like I said, you were interested in them at one point. That's why you married them. Right. We done went back too far. Okay. You can't find the heart, Shampria. Thank you, Shampria, for joining. Shampria is a newlywed. Okay, so this one says, I'm not married, been with my boyfriend now 3 years. He's epileptic. There are days when he just wants to give up. Am I working? What's that? But there is never a day when he comes home, dinner is not done, laundry washed, house clean, towels and clothes ready for him in the bathroom, waiting on him. Okay. That's good. That's very supportive. Well, no, we're not going to address that because she said her boyfriend. We believe that check it up and people, do whatever, and that's fine. But I believe that if you want God to bless it, you got to be married. So what we're talking about is how you treat your spouse, because that means you actually made a commitment to them. I think, that living together is I'm a test the waters type of a deal. Right. Stephanie says, I got y'all on the topic next week because on this topic, I'm the one lacking, so I'll fall back. You don't have to fall back, Stephanie. Just listen and know better, do better. Do better. I mean, I always have to improve on stuff. Okay, over here somebody said something too. When there's an age difference, that can cause issues. So how do you help to keep the fire going? He's older than her. Hey, they make pills for that. Pop 1, pop 2. Well, but not only that, but I was just joking. No, but that may be if you like that. But if there is, what does it say?
Tell your parents that the broadcast keeps going in and out.
Who said that?
Miss Keela.
Oh, really?
Okay, well I can't do that's her because I don't have any thing like that.
Well, our internet is
Okay,
suspect.
thank you. So there's nothing if someone just sent a message to my child, tell my our broadcast keep going in and out, and so I mean I can't do nothing about it. I don't know what that's from, but what happened?
Tevin say after 32 years, I still like that. Problems with our internet provider.
I have no idea. I'm scared if I cut the Wi-Fi off, it might cut off altogether. So, I'm sorry. All right, so you guys are gone, frozen in time.